Today we are going to show how to set up some logging on Windows for OpenSSH, or I'm sorry, not OpenSSH. We're going to show logging of SSH client activity on a Windows host. So let's say, for example, I have nmap, right? So if I pull open CMD and I cd my way into program files, x86, nmap, and I list the directory, we'll see I have nmap.exe, and I can scan localhost. And we should see 3 ports open, if it has any horsepower. I think it's trying especially hard. Neat. Okay, so there's 2 ports. That is good. I think, nope, I do know why that's the case. I need to go into my services, and I need to find OpenSSH server right here. So you can see this is manual. I could change that to be automatic, but let's go ahead and do start on this, and we'll notice in just a moment here, if I go ahead and hit the up arrow and I hit enter to rescan, we will notice in just a moment there will be 3 ports. So the good old 445, 135, and in just a moment we should see 22. There, perfect. So you might be wondering how I did this. So we're going to go to add features, or let's just type in features. So let's go into apps and features. From here there are going to be optional features. From here we can go to add a feature, and here we would just type SSH, and you would see SSH server. I have already installed it. You would install it, but OpenSSH server is it. Additionally, you may want to install OpenSSH client. What's this going to do? SSH client is going to allow us to simply type SSH, and then we can SSH. So this is inbuilt supported within CMD. We can also back out of here and do it from a PowerShell session. So switch over to PowerShell, SSH attack at localhost, and you can see that works fine as well. Now you might be wondering though, what if I want to know when someone types who am I? That would be nice to be able to log this all out somewhere. So I messed around a little bit with like passing stuff off using T, using outfile, and a whole bunch of different things, and maybe there is a way to do that, but I am unaware. I have also done quite a few different Google searches, plenty enough to the point of almost growing a full gray mustache. Not happening. So instead, we are going to work with the hacky tools that we have to our disposal and make sure that this works so we get client-based logging of SSH activity. So what I'm going to tell you to do is go to optional features, and let's go into manage optional features, and again we are going to look for SSH. This SSH client, get out of town. So in just a moment of time we will be able to now go into CMD and type SSH attack at localhost. We're going to see SSH is no longer supported. The same thing should be true in PowerShell. Wonderful. That's exactly what we want. So take SSH out, get that client off there, uninstall it. We don't need it. Instead, what we will be using for this is PuTTY. PuTTY is wonderful, and I highly recommend it. Go ahead and for this, download PuTTY and go to the download, PuTTY, however you want to say it, PuTTY. Let's go ahead and get plink. So get the appropriate bit version. Not sure what bit architecture you're on? Go ahead and type cmd set find string arc, all caps. You'll see processor architecture, AMD 64, I'm 64-bit. If you see something else besides 64, then figure it out. But 64-bit, you're good to go with the Plink 64-bit edition. Download this. And then we're going to also get Putty, P-U-T-T-Y, right here. So go ahead and download the installer, matching your architecture. What I will do at this time is launch the Putty installer, but I've already done so. So I'm actually just kind of not going to do that. And instead, I'm going to type audit test on my desktop for a new folder. And from here, I will be showing my downloads folder. And I am going to move over these two files in there. And then we are also going to look for something called ansicon. So we can see right here, GitHub ansicon releases. So if you want to just type releases up here too, should be up on the top, click. From here, we are going to find a zip file. Download that. You could also download the source and compile yourself if for some reason that's what you intend. Anyway, we're going to find this, and we just need these files here. So I'm going to drag and drop. Perfect. So now we don't need anything else. Well, if you want Nmap, you could go download Nmap. So just go search Nmap download, download free Nmap security scanner. And there is a latest stable self-installer. Get this, run it, and you are all set to go. I would make this into a zip if I had enough subscribers, but I don't have enough subscribers. So subscribe if you like this. Get it up to, let's say, 10,000. I'm really ambitious here, guys. Help me out. Make someone's dream. Anyway, we're going to take the space out of this because I hate spaces, so I'm actually just going to name it audit. I'm going to copy this location. I'm going to launch a PowerShell session. From our PowerShell session, I'm going to cd my way into here, and I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can see the commands a little easier. So I've cd'd my way in here, and I'm going to just list a directory, and I see ansicon. And if I type ansicon-h to call ansicon, the executable, and then we're going to type -l for, and then a space, and now we're just going to call plink, like that, and I'm going to do attack at localhost. So it's going to ask me to log in, do attack. Perfect. So now that I'm inside here, I'll zoom in a bit so we can see, and I'm just going to type color 0A, color 0F, color F0. Cool. So you can see that this works, that the colors work, and we're inside of an SSH session. I'm going to now exit out of the SSH session, and I will attempt going in with plink without ansicon. And now I'm going to type color F0, color 0F, and you can just start to see that we're losing support for color. So you might be wondering, hey, what is ansicon? Well, you just saw the difference of ansicon versus no ansicon, right? So this is a difference with ansicon. Who am I? Color 0F, color F0. Who am I? cd into program files, nmap, okay, nmap, localhost. We go into temp. We should now see a log called ansicon, and here we see it. So here's ansicon, and I'm going to change the font size so all can read. And if we scroll down quite a bit, we will start to see starting nmap. 7.91. So for example, what if we search for nmap, right? Well, you can see nmap starts popping up in quite a few places. So if there was a keyword being flagged, nmap, you could scan for nmap. You could scan for nmap scan in that log file. You could scan for usernames. So we could maybe even just scan for maybe administrator. That's probably too common, but we definitely have some ways now that we can start to have some paper trail of what's going on with SSH sessions from the client side. So no matter what server I SSH'd out to, I know what's going on. And this helps. This is helpful, useful information, definitely, if you're looking to gain some sort of logging. Now, what might this look like if you're trying to get this set up in a way where it's just super easy to use, right? I'll show you what that looks like. I was doing one wrong thing. Logging. Okay, so now if we go into temp, we'll find our logs and we can scroll down to the very bottom and we see logging. Perfect. So what we would do is we would have a forwarder and we would be pulling this log out. So we would have some sort of file monitoring on this ansicon log. Yep. So we're just going to paste this SSH file in here into system32. And now I'm just going to clear this and just type SSH attack at localhost. Attack. Perfect. So now we have logging. We can do color 0f, color f0, and so colors work. And I mean, this seems to work.